Hello students, Mr. Cowan here, and I want to show you two ways to help study for your upcoming exams. And we're going to look at two different resources, one called NotebookLM and one called Gemini. Now both of these are Google products that are accessible to you using your school accounts. So I want to take you through how to use them to help get ready for exams. So what we're going to do is I'm logged in as a student because I want to show you it from the student perspective. So thank you, student, for allowing me to access your account. Inside this account, we're going to look at two different teachers' classes that have posted some study guides. So in here, first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at Mr. Solello's U.S. history. So Mr. Solello has posted some different exam materials. I can see here's his semester final. If I come and click it, I can see there's two different things in here. Now, I'm going to show you one way to do this. There's always more than one way to do something, but I'm going to show you this way first because normally this gives you the most ways that you can take the material and put it into different resources to learn from. So if I come in here and I look at one of his things, I can see here are his final notes or the study guide. If I open this and I go to File, I could say Download, and I would download it as a PDF. The reason I would do it as a PDF is that a lot of different tools will use a PDF to ingest and give you different materials from. Sometimes they're pickier about some of the other file formats. So if you download as a PDF, you're probably guaranteed that you're going to be able to upload it somewhere. So you would download that one. I come in here and look at the practice test. I could say File, Download, and once again, download as a PDF. Then what I can do is if I have those materials, I can upload them to something called NotebookLM. Now, you can just go to Google and search NotebookLM. It should be the top result. When you get here, you'll see it will say Try NotebookLM. If you're using your school Google account, once you click it, it's just going to automatically log you in with your Google account. Now, if you're using a non-school device, it is going to ask you to log in with your school account. So just sign in with your school one and you should be set. Now you can see I've already come in here. I've been kind of experimenting with this student's account. So you see some kind of pre-made ones already here. But I'm going to hit Create New so you see the process. Now what NotebookLM does is it will only use the information you upload it to generate material from. So unlike something like ChatGPT or Google Gemini or Claude or Plod where it will search out the internet, this on the other hand is only going to use the material you upload to it. So I can say Upload Sources. Now I'm a school Chromebook, so I'll hit Recent. I can see here are my two files I downloaded, and I'll hit Open. Now what this will do is we'll upload them and start using that material to create the different things that I want. Now note there are other resources you can add. You can add from your Google Drive. You can add links to websites or YouTube videos. Note the YouTube video must have a transcription uploaded to it, which most of the time they are, but you might get an error message if it does not have it. You can even just copy and paste a whole bunch of text and use that also. Now once you are in here, you can generate different things to study from. So you can actually see there's quiz, flashcards. If I hit reports, you can see there's even a study guide in here. You can also turn on things like mind maps, an audio overview, or a video overview. What the audio overview does is it generates a podcast based on the material you put in, and the video overview is like an audio podcast but with video. So you feel free to try it. Now I already have one that I've uploaded all this material to, and I generated it all so you don't have to wait to see what it looks like. But generating those different things, you can see here's like a U.S. history quiz. They'll come in and give you quiz questions. So I could say, okay, I think this is horizontal integration. And it'll tell me I was right. I could see this one. I think maybe it's the power corporate monopolies. It will say, nope, you are wrong. Here's what the right answer is and why. Now, if you want to see that explained, I can hit Explain. And in the chat feature, it'll give you a better understanding of why you got it wrong and why the answer that is right is correct. What you'll notice is there's little numbers These little numbers actually would bring you into your study material where that is mentioned and give you an explanation. So it actually cites its sources as you go. Now, instead of just the quiz, you can see there's other things that are in here. There's actually like a little mind map. So you can actually come through if you're like someone who wants to study to see how things are tied together. I can click these different things and it'll break it down into it for me. Now, beyond mind maps, you can see here's like what the study guide looks like. It gives me actually a little short answer quiz. It gives me essay questions. Even gives me a glossary of different key terms. In here, I can see here's where the podcast is.
For a really high-speed look at one of the most chaotic periods in American history.
It's a fascinating one. We're talking about...
So you can actually go in there and listen to a podcast. So here's a 12-minute audio sample if you're someone who's an auditory learner. Now, if you're a visual learner, you can come in and check out the video that you generated.
Have you ever thought about how a country can completely... I mean, this was the engine...
So I'll actually go through and have a video brief for you. Whichever way you like to learn, it's giving you lots of different options that come into it. Now, maybe you're struggling with something in here. I can come in here and actually just talk to it directly. I can say, help me understand the differences between a vertical monopoly and a horizontal monopoly. And what this will do then is it'll actually go into an explanation. So you can talk to it like it is a person, and you can help understand the material that maybe you are struggling with. You could even say, quiz me on this. And it will generate parts maybe focused more on what you are looking for. So this gives you different options on how you can kind of go and do it. Now, I want to show you another way of using NotebookLM, just because sometimes maybe your teacher gives you materials in different formats. I want to make sure you understand how to get them in here. So, for example, we're going to use Mr. Olson's 9th grade physics here. If I come and look at this, I can see he has like his Chapter 17 notes. Now, his Chapter 17 notes come as a PowerPoint. Some programs might not be able to take this, but if you're using your school-issued Chromebook, what you can do is come here and say print. When you hit print, and since you're on a Chromebook, what it will do is actually create it into a PDF. I can then come here and hit download, and it will download this file as a PDF. I can then come through the rest of his files. Oops, went too far. I could see here is like maybe his Chapter 17 vocab. I could download that. I could download his homework and study guides. I could grab all this stuff. Now, I already did this. So if I come in here and look, you can see I have his PowerPoint right here. I can see I have his study guide with the answers and the vocab terms. So you can add different files to this, different types. And like I said, as long as you can get it into a format that it takes, it allows you to upload it here. And you can see once again, I have different materials that I've already generated here that I can see what it looks like. So NotebookLM makes studying really easy to do. Now the question is, what happens if you have material that is not included in here? And maybe you need to do it in kind of a different way. So for this example, maybe it's math and you don't have a study guide example. What you could use is you could use something like Google Gemini. So if I go to gemini.google.com, I can come in and I can have different parts that come into it. Now what I can do is I can tell it I want to turn on guided learning. What guided learning does is it puts you into a learning mode. Oh, I wanted to actually have my question in there. So maybe the student is learning geometry. Help me study rhombus. So you can see it kind of came into this. Now, if I would have prompted it better, and you can see I actually have an example here. This is what I really wanted to prompt. I could say, can you help me study for properties and applications of rhombi and squares? I would like sample math problems, please. What you will see is the way I prompted it, it actually generated a guided learning mode here for me and actually created a little quiz. If I'm coming through here and I'm kind of stuck, I could say show hint. And it gives me a little idea. Now, I'm going to just kind of pick one. How about this guy? Nope, that was the wrong answer. Oh, no. Yeah, I picked the wrong answer. It tells me why I'm wrong, and it shows me what the right answer is and explains it. So you can use Gemini with the guided learning mode to help more study for classes that maybe you don't have a study guide for, but the guided learning mode will generate it so that it actually puts you into a learning environment and creates the quizzes. So exactly kind of like NotebookLM, but this part is useful for you when you don't have materials to upload. This will generate those parts for you. So I just want to show you how, once again, you can use NotebookLM and Gemini to help study for your upcoming exams. I wish you all the best of luck and have a great week.